You know that feeling, right? That little knot in your stomach when you think about money, especially about a surprise bill popping up out of nowhere. Well, this explainer is all about getting rid of that stress. We're going to give you a super clear, totally achievable plan to build a financial safety net so you can finally get some peace of mind. So let's just start with a really direct question. If your car broke down tomorrow and the bill was $1,000, could you pay for it right now with cash? Just think about that for a sec. If the answer isn't a solid heck yes, don't even worry. You're definitely not alone, and that's exactly what we're here to fix. Because look, this isn't just some hypothetical question. Unplanned expenses are a fact of life. It's not really a matter of if something is going to happen, it's just a matter of when. And, facing that when without a plan can really throw your whole world into a tailspin.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about. That domino effect. One surprise bill, it's almost never just one thing. It pushes you to swipe a high-interest credit card. Now suddenly you're fighting that debt. Maybe that leads to a missed payment, which means late fees. And all of it just creates this constant draining stress that follows you everywhere.
But here's the good news. There is a powerful and honestly a surprisingly simple way to stop those dominoes from ever falling. It's all about building your own financial safety net. So let's get into exactly how to do it.
So what is this safety net? It's an emergency fund, and it's really simple. It is just cash that you've set aside for one single purpose, to handle life's real, actual emergencies. I like to think of it as your financial shield. It's the buffer that stands between you and total chaos when something goes wrong.
And this quote just nails it. This is such a huge mindset shift. We're always told to make our money work for us, right? To invest it and get these great returns. But an emergency fund, well, it's not an investment. Its job isn't to make you rich. Its job is to keep a bad situation from making you go broke. The real return you get is peace of mind. Okay, so you get the why. Now let's dive into the how. And I know this can feel like a huge, overwhelming goal, but we're going to break it down into a really simple 3-step action plan.
And here it is. This is the whole playbook. First, we're going to figure out your goal. Second, we'll pick the perfect spot to keep the money. And third, the magic step. We'll automate the whole process so it just happens in the background. See? Totally simple and 100% doable.
All right, let's tackle step 1. How much do you actually need? The general rule of thumb is to save up 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses. And that word essential is key. We're not talking about your total income. We're talking about the bare bones stuff. Your rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, gas for the car, insurance. Now, if you've got a super stable job, maybe 3 months is enough. But if you're a freelancer or your income is kind of up and down, aiming for that 6-month cushion, that's going to give you some serious breathing room. So let's make that real for a second. Let's say your essential can't live without them expenses add up to $2,000 a month. Well, your 6-month goal is $12,000. See? Just like that, it's not this big, scary, abstract idea anymore. It's a number. It's a target you can actually aim for.
Okay, on to step 2. Where are we going to stash this cash? The only 2 words you need to remember are safe and liquid, meaning you can get to it fast. A high-yield savings account is pretty much perfect. It's separate from your checking, it's insured, and it's easy to access. The absolute worst place for this money? Anything volatile, like stocks or crypto. Just imagine needing that cash right when the market takes a nosedive. Your fund could literally be worth half as much right when you need it the most. No thanks.
And now, my favorite part, step 3. This is the secret weapon. This is the thing that makes it all happen without you even trying. Seriously, the most powerful tool you have for saving is automation. Here's how it works. You have to pay yourself first. The minute you get paid, set up an automatic transfer to move some cash from your checking account into that high-yield savings account. And you know what? Even if you start with just $25, you're building the habit. You're building that savings muscle. And that consistency is way more important than the amount. Then you can speed things up. Anytime you get a little windfall like a tax refund or a work bonus, boom, throw it straight in the fund. So you've put in the work, you're building up your fund. Awesome. Now we have to protect it. And that means setting some really clear rules for when you should use it, and maybe more importantly, when you definitely shouldn't. This chart breaks it down perfectly. A real emergency is something that's sudden, it's unexpected, and it's necessary. Think losing your job, a car repair you have to get to go to work, or a big medical bill. So what is it not for? A vacation, holiday gifts, that awesome pair of sneakers that just went on sale?
Those are wants or they're planned expenses. They are not emergencies. Being disciplined about this is everything.
But I want to be crystal clear about something. If a true emergency hits and you have to dip into your fund, that is not a failure. That is a massive success. That is the entire reason you built it in the first place. You successfully shielded yourself from debt and a ton of stress. You used the tool exactly like it was designed to be used. That's a win.
And after you use it, the plan is simple. You just go right back to the beginning. You make refilling that safety net your #1 financial priority again. Turn those automatic transfers back on, maybe cut back on takeout for a little while, and just focus on getting that fund back to full strength before you move on to other goals. It's a cycle, and it's a totally normal part of the process.
So let's end on this. This whole journey doesn't start someday or next month. It starts today with one small, tiny action. So what's yours going to be? Will you spend 5 minutes calculating your essential expenses? Will you open that high-yield savings account online? Or maybe just set up that first $25 transfer? Whatever it is, do it right now. Your future self will be so, so glad you did.